Hello, what's the crack? What's that story? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're checking out what not to do in New York City. I've never been to New York. I live in Birmingham, United Kingdom. But one day I'd love to go to New York. So it's good to know what not to do in New York, not to get arrested. Because you guys love arresting people for any little stuff. But yeah, let's go.
No matter how many times you have been to New York, the city can always overwhelm you with the crazy amount of things to experience. Unfortunately, lots of people spend their time and their money on the wrong things. Without any ado, this is my comprehensive expert list of things not to do, of what not to do, so you can make the most of your time in New York City. Now, one thing that I want to be clear about. This video is not intended to be a negative review of New York. I love this city, and I want to share with you some of the things to avoid so that you can fully spend your time experiencing the best that NYC has to offer. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Every New Yorker can agree, when you actually live...
Avoid Times Square. I would have thought that's the place to be. Like, if I go to New York, I want to go to Times Square. Do you know what I mean? That's what New York is all about. Sea that never sleeps, Times Square, you know what I mean? Statue of Liberty and all that kind of stuff. But why should I avoid Times Square? Let's go.
In New York City, you avoid Times Square at all costs. I mean, you only really go there if you work there or you have a meeting there. It's not a casual place to hang out. While I do believe that everyone should experience Times Square at least once in their life, it's not the kind of place to make a day out of. The sheer amount of people in one tiny space, the food is overpriced, and you're surrounded by Disney characters trying to make a buck off you. There's nothing wrong with it. If you do get a photo with someone hustling on the streets, remember, like your mom taught you, always be respectful and leave a tip. Go for 10 minutes, take your selfie, gawk at the bright lights, and get the hell out of there. All you need is 10 minutes, and that is your Times Square fix for life. You don't need to come here and spend a day in Times Square. I mean, poor Mike Sheffer's been here for what, an hour, and he's going crazy.
Get me out of here.
As an alternative to Times Square, check out Bryant Park.
Wow.
It's only a few blocks away from Times Square, right next to the...
And actually, I have a massive question for you guys. When you guys say blocks, a few blocks, what does that mean? Do you mean like a few streets? Do you mean like the next street? Because I've seen loads of movies, and it's like, oh, so I'm only 10 blocks away, 2 blocks away, 1 block away. What does blocks mean? What does that mean? That's an American term I've never understood. Please let me know. Thank you.
Public library. You'll still get your fix of that midtown hustle feel without all the crazies. Picture this. You've been walking around the city all day, and you are so far past the point of hungry, so you walk into that first chain restaurant that you see. Do not do this. The golden rule is if you can eat there at home, you should avoid eating there in the city.
You didn't book that trip to New York City to come and eat at your favorite fast food restaurant.
Rather, make your way downtown, away from all the chaos, and find something local.
In New York, you could eat in a different restaurant every single day, and it would still take you 65 years to eat in all of New York City's 24,000 restaurants. Avoid the franchise restaurants. Don't be distracted by...
Okay, as a massive foodie that I am, I love food. I love food so much. You're telling me I get to try different restaurants every day for 65 years? Actually, that's a bit too much. But yeah, just being able to choose different different cuisine every single day, that'd be really fun. Yeah, that makes sense. When you go to New York or any major cities, don't go to Starbucks, don't go to McDonald's, KFC. Try something local to that city. That makes a lot of sense. I like that.
The bright lights, get out of Times Square, and go find something that New York City is known for. Great restaurants.
The sidewalk in New York is like an actual highway, and there's a certain set of rules for walking on the sidewalk here. First, you should never stop abruptly in the middle of the sidewalk. If you do, people will bump into you. Do not stop walking to check your phone, maps, or gawk at the tall buildings on the middle of the sidewalk. Also, avoid walking in the bike lane, and avoid jaywalking.
Yeah, that jaywalking thing, I think that's only in the US. Over here, you can jaywalk, man. We don't call it jaywalking. I don't have to wait I can just cross the road anytime. Apparently, you guys can get arrested for that in America. I think you guys can get arrested, but over here it's not like a big deal. I can literally see a police van and just cross in front of him while I can do that. It's not really a big deal, yeah, man. But you guys take things too serious. But yeah, let me know. Is that like a massive crime over there?
Rather, if you have to check your phone, simply stop and walk off to the side, out of the way of all the foot traffic, and check your messages there.
Makes sense.
All over Midtown, you'll see signs for bus tours around the city. While the tours do take you through the majority of the city and offer some amazing beauty points, it's only for a passing moment in traffic, or not moving in traffic at all. There's crazy long lines in the summertime. In the winter, you'll have the bus to yourself for good reason. You're exposed to the elements, and it can be pretty miserable.
Rather than taking a bus around the whole city, pick one neighborhood in specific, like the West Village, and spend the day exploring that one specific spot rather than spreading yourself too thin over the city.
Design your own tour that is much more immersive in the city rather than just pure sightseeing. Avoid renting a car.
Yeah, I feel like renting a car in New York would be so stupid. Oh my god. Just looking at people going around, it just looks so packed. Like, I can't picture anywhere to park in New York City. And there's so many taxis. Like, if you're going to New York, why would you rent a car? I'd rather just get into the taxi. You know, it's part of the experience. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to rent a car, man. Nah. If you go to cities like, I don't know, say Texas or something like that, where, it's so open and it's not overcrowded. Yeah, do that. But New York City, if you stay in New York City, even I've never been there, I feel like I know so much places about New York. I watch a lot of vloggers from New York. People like him, Eric Colova. I like him. He's very good. But yeah, don't rent a car. Looks like a good idea.
Sounds like a no-brainer, but you'd be surprised. Most New Yorkers don't even have a driver's license because a car can be the least effective way to get around the city.
Commercial vehicles only. That's Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m.
Today's Saturday.
So today we're good, especially if you're here on a whim. You can't kind of just go to a place and say, hey, I'm going to park here, because chances are you will get a ticket or you will get towed. Some people will pay $500, $700, $1,000 or more per month just to park their car in the city.
Taxis can be good, but they can be expensive.
Only rent or bring a car if you have to.
Rather, I recommend to take the subway. It's cheap and it's easy to navigate once you get the hang of it. Once you are on the subway, do not abuse riding it. There's a set of unspoken and also very public rules for riding the subway. Number one, do not hop the turnstile. Pay for the subway ticket. It's good for the city.
And also, let me know, it's expensive. Is the ticket for me? If I'm paying about I'd say between $30 to $50 or $30 to $60 a week is all right. It's not too bad. If it's like $100 a week, then yeah, like that's too expensive, man. But yeah, let me know how much you guys pay. How much is it to go around New York City in the subway?
Let people off the subway before you get on. Don't spread your legs out and put your bag on the seat next to you. Don't lay down flat while riding the subway. And don't lean on the poles. More or less, just be very conscious of your space and the space of others.
Okay.
If you never leave Manhattan, can you really say you've been to New York?
Make sure to check out the other 5 boroughs. Each has their own unique neighborhoods, landmarks, and culture.
It is just about 5:30 in the morning. One of my favorite things to do in the city, you wake up at sunrise, especially this time of year in the summer, there's not many people at all on the bridge. You have a beautiful sunrise over there into the east. You have Manhattan over this way, Brooklyn Bridge, Lower Manhattan, joined by some good friends today, Brett and Chris.
What's up, vlog?
Sit on a bench, really just take in the views of the city, and then go spend a whole day exploring Brooklyn.
If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like and also comment down below your top things.
Yeah, I like that. I think, yeah, he gave great advice. He gave beautiful advice, literally. If you go in New York, don't do stupid things, even in the subway. Leave space for other people. Go to good restaurants. Don't just go to restaurants you go to if you're in your own city. Cause like I travel around Europe a lot, and I try my best not to go to the chain restaurants, because McDonald's is everywhere in Europe. But it's so because I like what I like. I like what I'm used to. It's so hard not to do, but sometimes I try my best not to go to the same places. But yeah, that was really good. If I do eventually go to New York, I'll definitely bring up this video and check, and hopefully make sure I don't take the bus tours and all that, and not stand, not jaywalk, not do all that kind of stuff. But yeah, who knows? One day I'll be in New York. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys very soon. Bye bye.